Go live. What's good? What's good, everybody? It's your boy Aaron Bevins, the Millennial Entrepreneur. Shout out YouTube. Shout out IG. Shout out Twitch. It's beautiful to be here today. So today is December 20th, and I wanted to go live because I promised everybody that I will be going live more often. And the topic I'm going to be discussing today, because it's by popular demand, everybody's been reaching out to me about this, is 3 laws for presenting successful wholesale offers. Okay, I'm going to give you a bonus tip as well, because what happens is in this business, we understand the marketing, right? In terms of lead generation, there's 4 components to a successful wholesale business, right? There's number 1 is lead generation. Okay, that means the predictable process for generating leads in the business every single day. Okay, then the second component is conversion. Now, oftentimes when it comes to conversion, people think, oh, it's just sales. And I'm like, yeah, if you're a hustler, it's just sales. But conversion is not just sales. Sales is only a portion of the conversion component, right? Conversion includes the sales process, yes, but it also includes the follow-up process, okay? It includes the contracting process, the referral process, the review process, but there's a part of the sales process that we're gonna be covering today. And a part of the sales process is not just the introduction, the qualification, you know what I mean, and the close, but it's the offer presentation. So what I wanna go today in regards to sales is not just the sales process, because we talk about that a lot, but it's a specific part of the sales process, right? And that is the offer presentation. So what we're going to go over today is 3 laws for presenting successful wholesale offers. So I'm going to give you these 3 laws really quick, and then we're going to cover over them. This is only going to be a short live, okay? But I want it to be value-packed, jam-packed with a bunch of nuggets, so that you can implement this right away and start making money in business. Now, why am I always giving away free knowledge? Why am I always giving away nuggets, whether it's on lives, on YouTube videos, on trainings and things like that, strategy sessions? Is because most of the mentees that I serve in my coaching program, I need for them to already understand real estate and wholesaling by the time they get to me. Because I'm not the coach that you necessarily come to whenever you're trying to learn how to wholesale. I'm not the coach that you come to whenever you're trying to learn the mechanics. I'm the coach you come to whenever it's time to scale that mechanic skill set to a mechanic shop and a franchise. I'm the coach that helps you build a business. So that's why I give away so much information for free, because I need for you to be making money by the time you come to me, or at the very least to understand the game. Then come to me and I help you turn it into a business. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to give you the 3 laws for presenting successful wholesale offers, and then we're going to break each one of these down right after the intro. All right, 3 laws for presenting successful wholesale offers. Number 1 is use the appraisal rules for comping properties. Okay, what do I mean by use the appraisal rules? We're going to get into that. Law number 2 for presenting successful wholesale offers is use a formula when estimating rehabs, right? And I'm going to break down what that means. Use a formula for estimating rehabs, okay? And then number 3, right? Law number 3, whenever it comes to presenting successful wholesale offers, is make the offer on the initial call. Jose Trevino, my brother. Gilmore Estates in the building. Big Captain 89. Cordell, what's goody? What's goody? What's goody? Good morning, everybody. All right, so law number 3 is make the offer on the initial call, okay? And then I'm going to give you a bonus tip right after this, all right? Right after we break down the 3 laws. So we're going to go ahead and hop right into this intro, and then we're going to go into the 3 laws for making an offer on the initial call. Let's get it.
We made it, that's facts, ayy. We the greatest, that's facts, ayy. Prices raising, that's facts, ayy. That's right. But we paid it, that's facts, ayy. I did. They hate it, that's facts, ayy. Cause we changing, that's facts, ayy. We did. Can't blame them, that's facts, ayy. Cause we made it, that's facts, ayy. Cherry on top, that's a goat, yeah. Where you been, I wanna know, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. I know you wanna look up for this. Baby, let me turn you up a bit. You said you made it through hell and back. Give me the scoop, baby, tell the facts. Don't be shy.
What up? What up? All right, y'all. So let's hop into this bad boy. I'm really excited about this. And let's hop into the first law for presenting successful wholesale offers. And that's number one, use the appraisal rules for comping. All right. By the way, we got San Antonio in the building. We got H-Town in the building. We got Cali in the building. The Blends Effect says, yo, what's good, man? My guy, it's been a minute. It's been way too long, bro. It's been way too long. All right, we got Atlanta in the building. We are crushing it over here. Pre-foreclosures, creative finance acquisitions. I love to see it. Okay, so law number one when presenting successful wholesale offers is use the appraisal rules when comping. So what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, comping is establishing the value of your property. Before I can present an offer, I need to determine what's the value of this property when it's all fixed up, right? So how do I determine the value of the property when it's all fixed up? All right. Well, I'm going to use the appraiser's rules when doing this. Why? Because they're the ones who have the say on the back end. They have the say on the back end when when the flipper or hedge fund or whoever buys your property for the purpose of flipping this property and making a profit, they're going to be utilizing the rules of the appraisers. So may as well on the front end, whenever we're determining the value of the property, we use the appraiser's rules. Okay. So let me see. Can I turn my screen around here on my phone? I don't know if I can. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right. All right, my guy Alex Inman says, bro, you look like Ricky Martin. You getting real money. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm the more pigmented, melanined Ricky Martin in this year. All right, so check this out. So appraisal rules. I'm gonna share the screen on my computer and I'm gonna share it on my phone, right? So let's look at these appraisal rules together because this is how we're gonna determine the value of these properties. All right, so hold on one second. Let me share my screen one time for the one time. Boom, boom, and boom. All right. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. All right. So these are the appraisal rules. These are the appraisal rules that I'm showing y'all right now. Okay. This is how to determine the value of a property. So first and foremost, we're looking for properties that are within plus or minus 200 square feet of our property. All right, that's what we determine. That's what lets us know. Okay, this is a comparable property. Now think about it. If our property is 1,500 square feet, okay, if our property is 1,500 square feet, then we're looking for properties that are within 1,300 and 1,700 square feet because it's within 200 square feet. Okay. Now we can go to up to 300 square feet difference whenever we're comping our property, but we want to keep the numbers as tight as possible to really determine the value of our property. Okay, then we want to be within 5 years of construction. So if my property was built in 1990, ideally that was built within 1985 and 1995. Okay, and if it's outside of these parameters, then we're going to have to deduct some value for that. Okay, we want to comp properties that are the same property type. What does that mean? If you have a trailer home, does it compare with a bungalow? No, it doesn't. If your home is a contemporary brick home, is it necessarily going to comp with a property that is a Tudor home or a ranch style home? Not necessarily. Now, even if it has the same amount of square footage and bed bath count, right? We need to determine the property type to see if it's truly going to compare. And if ours is of less value, we need to deduct for that value. See, these are the little nuances that a lot of people don't look at whenever they're comping properties. And then what ends up happening is that they wonder why their buyers on the back end are saying, no, you're saying the ARV is X, I'm saying the ARV is X. Now watch this. A single family home does not perfectly comp with a two-story home. Meaning This is real life experience. I learned this the hard way. A single story home is always going to be more valuable than a two-story home when all things are the same. If it's the same style home, if it's the same square footage, the same bed bath count, right? The same format virtually, when all things are equal, a single family home is going to value for higher than a two-story home. Why? Because think about it, most consumers are going to want are not going to like stairs. Okay, we want to comp properties where the lot size is within 2,500 square feet. We don't want to cross major roads, whereas now we might be able to cross major roads just because how volatile the market is, but ideally we don't want to cross major roads. We don't want to leave the subdivision, okay? We don't want to cross freeways. Why is this the case? Why don't we want to leave the subdivision? Why don't we want to cross major roads? Why don't we want to cross freeways? Because when you cross a freeway, what happens to the valuation of the properties? Typically, it changes drastically. On one side of the freeway, you might have mansions and estates, gated communities, and on the right on the other side of the freeway, it might be the projects. Would they compare? Absolutely not. So you have to learn these things in your market. Now, for some people, they're probably rolling their eyes right now, and they're like, "Yo, like this seems like too much work." Okay, well, this money's not for you then. You're not built for the bag. All right, you got to do some due diligence. If you want to get rich, you got to become a master, right? You got to become a master. All right. So let's keep it. Let's keep it. Hold on one second. Okay. So that's why we don't want to cross freeways and all that fun stuff. All right. Now, if the subject property has a pool and ours doesn't have a pool, and everything else compares, we're going to subtract 10,000 because the opposite is also true. If their property doesn't have a pool and ours has a pool, then ours is going to be about $10,000 more. So plus or minus $10,000 for a pool, okay? Plus or $10,000 for a bedroom. All right? We're going to subtract $10,000 if the traffic is traffic. If the property is under 350,000, I know I say 270 here, but it's actually 350,000. Okay, you're going to subtract 15,000 if the property is fronting traffic, and the property is under 350,000. Okay, if the property is backing a freeway, we're going to subtract $20,000 off of the value. So let's say we found a comparable. Let me show you what this means. Okay, what this means is let's say we find a comparable for our property, and the comparable, the comp, is worth 350,000. That comp is not backing the freeway, but our property is backing the freeway. We're going to need to subtract $20,000. Okay, that's what that means. If the comparable property has a garage and ours doesn't have a garage, we're going to subtract $10,000 on our value. Okay, if their property has a carport and ours doesn't, we're going to subtract 5,000. And homes over 500,000, parking must be added if it's not already there, right? So that's what we mean when we say that we need to use the appraisal rules, guys. All right. We go over this in our community with all of our mentees because, right, if we're going to make money, then we're going to have to learn how to make offers, all right, and present those offers in a way where we can be successful. So these are the appraisal rules, y'all. All right, screenshot this. You can utilize this in your own business right away to start presenting more successful offers. All right, so rule number one is use the appraisal rules for comping. So remember this before I move any further. We're talking about how to present successful wholesale offers. So remember that there's three basic components to making an offer, and that's number one, I have to establish the value of the property, and that's called comping. Then I have to determine the rehab estimate, all right, and we're going to use a formula for that. And then we're going to present the offer. So there's three components to making an offer, right? Three components. So I just showed y'all component number one and how to do that, and that's use the appraisal rules. So whenever you're comping, all right, You want to use the appraiser's rules because the appraiser is who's going to determine the value of the property on the back end. So may as well we use the appraisal rules on the front end. You see, there's a science to this. You know what I'm saying? What up, what up? We got Atlanta in the building, Charleston, South Carolina in the building. What's goody, everybody? All right, so let's move on to law number 2 when it comes to presenting successful wholesale offers. And that is use a formula for estimating rehabs. Now, I know that this is a controversial thought. All right, this is controversial because some people will say we don't use formulas whenever we estimate rehabs. And it's like, okay, well, listen, a lot of the people who say that might be good closers and they might be great on the phones, but they don't run successful businesses at the level that we want to. You know what I'm saying? We need to operationalize our business. And anytime you're trying to scale something in 7 figures, you want to operationalize your business. Okay, and operationalize your business means you want to get formulaic. Now, a lot of times whenever we talk about formula, people start to think that, okay, this is getting a little too transactional. You know, you lose the human touch. It's not that. What it is we have to become scalable, because once you figure out how to make money, your next problem that you're solving for is how do we make that money predictable so that we can turn this into $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $200,000, etc. First thing I'm asking is, how can I turn this thing into 7 figures? Okay, how can I turn this thing into a 7-figure business? All right, so what do I mean by use a formula for estimating a rehab? What I mean by that is there are 3 categories, 4 major categories whenever it comes to estimating rehabs. Okay, the first formula is called a turnkey property. Turnkey property means the property has recently been rehabbed. It doesn't need any cosmetic work. It doesn't need any of the big 5. The big 5 are a roof, foundation, electric, plumbing, HVAC. The property is turnkey. Imagine you buy the property, turn the key, it's ready. Okay, turnkey. Turnkey, the formula for turnkey properties, for making an offer on a turnkey property, is ARV times 0.8 minus your profit equals the offer. Okay, that's the formula for a turnkey property. I'm going to repeat that for you. Okay, if the property's turnkey, what that looks like is ARV, which we established that on law number 1. Okay, ARV times 0.8 minus your profit equals the offer. So what does that mean? So what that means is, let's say the ARV that we established for this property is 100,000 and it's turnkey, meaning it's been recently rehabbed. None of the big 5 are needed, right? So we're going to take ARV, which is 100,000 times 0.8. So that means 80,000. Let's say I want to make 20,000 in profit. I'm going to subtract 20,000 from that 80. And so my offer is what? 60,000. That's the formula for turnkey properties, okay? The next category of rehabs, and y'all got to take notes because I'm blitzing through this real quick. All right, I'm blitzing through this real quick. We go over this stuff in our community, y'all. I'm sharing this with the public because I want you guys making money before you even come to me, before you even come to the community. I want you making money. That's why I'm giving away some of this stuff for free, right? And by the way, you can find a lot of this stuff on YouTube about what we're going over right now, right? I'm just giving it to you right here in a very concise way. That way you can implement it right away, okay? So the second category is what we call a cosmetic rehab. Cosmetic rehab means it's not going to need any of these big 5 items. It's not going to need a roof, foundation, electrical, plumbing, or HVAC. It only needs cosmetic updates. Okay, so what is the formula that we utilize whenever we're making offers on cosmetic rehabs? Well, it's ARV times 0.6. ARV times 0.6, I'm sorry, times 0.65 minus our profit equals our offer. Now, there's a caveat to this, okay? There's a caveat to this. Meaning it's not the same across the board. If the ARV is above 350,000, the cosmetic rehab formula is going to be ARV times 0.7 minus profit equals offer. The reason why is because now we have more equity spread to play with. So now our formula can adjust so that we can present the seller with a higher offer and still be profitable on our end. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, ask questions, whether on YouTube, Facebook, our Facebook group, on IG. Let me know. Let me know. All right. I know I'm going live at an awkward time, but I know there's going to be a lot of you on the replay as well. Ask questions in the comment section, and I'll explain further. So what does that look like? If the ARV for a cosmetic rehab, if the ARV is 100,000 and it's a cosmetic rehab, then I'm going to say 100 times 0.65, which takes me to 65,000. Let's say I want to make a $20,000 assignment fee. Then what that looks like is I'm offering $45,000 for this property. Okay. Crump says, "E, you looking real good today, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate it." And am I reading too much into this by the fact that you said today? What up, I hustle bro in the building. Ryan Wilkerson said, "Need this dude's skincare regimen." Actually, bro, I have Cece put me on this bomb skincare regimen. Shout out Cece. So I appreciate you noticing, my guy. But yeah, she's got me on. It's like it's a cleanser and a toner and a moisturizer, and yeah, she got me out here on fleek. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so that's our second category of rehab, called cosmetic. Third rehab category is going to be called a gut rehab. A gut rehab is going to be if we need 2 to 3 of the big 5. I don't care what 2 to 3 of the big 5 it is. If it needs 2 to 3 of the big 5, we're going to consider this a gut rehab. What does that mean? What that means is if it needs electrical, foundation, and roof. Okay? If it needs foundation, roof, and HVAC. If it needs electrical, plumbing, and foundation. If it needs 2 to 3 of the big 5, including cosmetic, we call it a gut rehab. And a gut rehab, the formula is ARV times 0.45 minus profit equals offer. Meaning if the ARV is 100,000 and this is a gut rehab, it's going to need 2 to 3 of the big 5. We're going to say ARV times 0.45. All right, that takes us to 45,000. And let's say I want to make a $20,000 spread. I'm offering $25,000 on this property. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to be listening to this and going to be like, "Aaron, your offers seem like they're very, very low." Well, that's called wholesale, y'all. That's called wholesale. Think about what China does, right? Why is China an economic power? Because they built their economy off of the back of the principles of wholesale. When you get a pencil from China, you're buying that pencil for $3.50. Okay, and it took them 6 cents to make that pencil. They sold it to somebody for 80 cents. Then that distributor is going to turn around and flip it, you know, and then it sells retail for $2-3, and they sell millions of them. And millions and millions and millions. So that's called wholesale. So don't think that I'm being greedy or I'm encouraging you to be disrespectful with these formulas that I'm giving you. This is how we make $20, $30, $40, $50,000 spreads on our wholesale deals. Okay? And here's the beautiful thing about it. People are supposed to say no. It's within their American right to say no, because this is their real estate. Most people are not going to be motivated sellers to be able to want to accept an offer 45 cents on the dollar minus $20,000 profit on a $100,000 house, to be accepting an offer of 25,000. Most people are going to want to do that, but who will? 3 to 5%. Individuals who are going through what we call the 5 Ds: death, disease, divorce, debt, distressed property, or retired landlord, right? So and here's the thing: the 3 to 5% of people who are going to say yes are going to make you incredible amounts of money. Jose Trevino says cosmetic rehab could have just one of the 5. If it's just going to be one of the 5, I would take it from a 0.65 to like a 0.60 or a 0.55, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you can use some discernment there. And we'll go over that today because I think we're going to be meeting on a coaching call today, Jose. But I got you on that. But yeah, good question. Joseph Franco says, drop it in to show some love. Everyone watching, make sure to take notes. I love it. What's good, Joseph? I said Joseph. I call him Joe. Frangos. All right. I love you, bro. Thank you for showing love. All right. And then the last formula that I'm going to give you, the last category is called a structural rehab. This is a rehab that's going to need everything. It's going to need all of the big 5. It's going to need roof, foundation, electrical, plumbing, HVAC. It's going to need the works plus cosmetic. All right. What that formula looks like is ARV times 0.35 minus profit equals offer. Okay, so let's say the ARV for a structural rehab is 100,000 times 0.35 means I'm at 35,000, and let's say I want to make $20,000 on this deal. So I'm basically going to be offering 15,000 on that property. What? That's so low. Well, look, it's within. They don't have to accept it, but I'm telling you, the ones that do accept, you're going to be making 20, 30, 40, $50,000. Okay, Seth Badu says seller needs to realize that the property is not a $100,000 property and it's as is condition. That's right. That's right. So how do we negotiate this? So it's a $100,000 property ARV, but it's a structural rehab. So how we justify it is by telling the seller, Mr. Seller, the property is going to need a new roof. It's going to need a new HVAC. It's going to need foundation. It's going to need rewiring for electrical. It's going to need new plumbing. Mr. Seller, this is going to require $45,000, $50,000 in terms of improvement in order to get it to that valuation. So here's a good question to ask. Mr. Seller, do you have $50,000 on hand in order to renovate this property, in order to sell it for the amount that you want? No? Okay, completely understood. Well, if I were to take on this property, then I'm going to have to put up that $50,000 in addition to the profit that I want to make, in addition to the fees that I have to pay. And so that's why my offer is $15,000. Right? So that's how this works, y'all. That's how this works. So remember our topic that we're going over: 3 laws for presenting wholesale offers successfully. Okay, law number 1 is use appraisal rules when determining the value of a property. Okay, use the appraisal rules, and I just showed you guys the appraisal rules. If you didn't see it, then go back on the replay, screenshot it, you could utilize it. Law number 2 is use a formula when estimating rehabs. I know a lot of people are like, you shouldn't be formulaic in business, and it's like, well, ask McDonald's. McDonald's don't make the best burger, but guess what? They have a formula for everything. There's a formula for everything. Everything is operationalized. And the reason why is because this is how you scale. This is how you scale. And by the way, if you guys use the formula that I'm giving you, you can trust the process, and you can trust that you're going to be able to get these deals at a contract that's going to allow you to make money. And you don't have a bunch of deals that's sitting in your database that's not selling. By the way, you know, that's a short shot way to determine whether or not you have good deals. Now, even it happens to the best of us where we lock up a deal too high. Okay, it happens to the best of us, but that shouldn't be the case with all of our deals. Okay, Chris34G says, if it's a turnkey and doesn't need much rehab, how would you explain your offer since it will be lower than what the seller wants? Yeah, that's a really good question. So what's up, Crystal? Good to see you. If it's turnkey, basically what we're saying is there's still fees that I have to take down. I have to incur to be able to take this property down, Mr. Chris. So I still have to buy the property cash. I'm still trying to make a profit on the back end. I have holding costs. I have closing costs. I have realtor fees, right? And again, just to reiterate, that's before my profit. And by the way, Chris, even if the property is turnkey, who's going to accept our wholesale offers? Motivated sellers. What's a motivated seller? A seller that's going through death, disease, divorce, debt, a distressed property, meaning an ugly busted house, or a tired landlord. So you got to understand, if the person is not willing to accept the offer, it's totally fine, because guess what? That you're not my client anyway. You're not my seller anyway, and that's totally fine, because everybody's going to get an offer. But the way we would justify our offer on a turnkey property is there's still lots of little fees that I need to incur in order to take this property on. And so, you know, and that's before my profit, because I'm gonna be honest with my sellers and let them know. I'm gonna be honest with my sellers and let them know that my bad, y'all. I gotta restart this live on IG. I'm gonna be honest with my sellers and let them know that you know, I'm making a profit. I'm making a profit on this property. So we're fully transparent as far as that goes. Okay. All right. Law number 3, and then we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up right after this. Law number 3 for presenting successful wholesale offers is make the offer on the initial call. Make the offer on the initial call. Okay. Why is this so important? This is so incredibly important to make the offer on the initial call, because the rest of your competition is going to be, this is what the rest of your competition sounds like. All right, well, it looks like I have all the information I need in order to see if this property is going to work for me. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and do my due diligence, and then I'm going to call you back. Well, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. Why? Because if you have the seller on the line, you have to strike while the kettle is hot. Why? Because money loves speed, right? And time kills deals. About the property, you talk to the seller, you tell them you're going to call them back, you go to call them back, they never answer. You have to call back over and over and over and over and over and over again just to get them on the phone, and then you got to warm them up again, and then you got to go through the process again, only to hope that they accept the offer. Happens all the time. So make the offer on the initial call, meaning, you know, I teach a script where you're gonna place them on hold, and then once you place them on hold, what you're gonna do is you're gonna run your comparables, you're gonna run the formula that I'm teaching right now, and then you're gonna come back and make your offer on the initial call. By the way, here's the second reason why we have to make the offer on the initial call. It's gonna separate you from your competition. Because most people, not only do they have to call back in order to make the offer, y'all, most of your competition don't even call back at all. They don't even call back at all, y'all. That's the crazy part about this. How many times have you talked to a seller and the seller says, well, all of you people are the same. You're gonna call and you're gonna ask me all these questions, and then you're not even gonna make me an offer. We hear that all the time, y'all. And you know what that lets me know? That lets me know, as many people are interested in this field, as many people that you think are saturating the market, they're not saturating the market. You really don't have too much competition. Okay? You really don't have too much competition whenever it comes to this business. Okay? Because most people are not even following up. All right? All right, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip really quick, and then I gotta hop off this. Bonus tip for making successful wholesale offers is, after making the offer itself, stop talking. As soon as you make the offer itself, stop talking. Why? Because so many people talk themselves out of deals, because after they make the offer, they're afraid of the silence. The silence is too awkward. But I'm telling you, silence is your secret weapon as a salesperson, as an acquisition agent. Anytime you're looking to close something, looking to close somebody, silence is your secret weapon. So once you make the offer, shut up, stop talking. And if you're on the phone with them, even if you have to put your hand over your mouth, you got to cover your mouth, and you're super awkward, and it feels like you need to squeeze your butt cheeks because, you know what I mean, you're so awkward. It's okay. Let it sit. Let that silence sit. Because I'm telling you, it's your secret weapon, and a lot of times it will get your seller to think. At the very least, it'll get them to reconsider how much money that they wanted. And now you can begin the negotiation. If they say no, you can still get them to sign a contract with you in a way that'll make money, because remember, our first offer is going to be the anchor offer, meaning we're going to offer low on that first offer. So if my first offer had $25,000 worth of profit built in, well, I have $25,000 worth of equity to negotiate with them. But after I make that first anchor offer, I shut up, stop talking, let it sit. You never know, they might accept it. The biggest mistake I see wholesalers make is they'll say, well, it looks like we could be at $120,000 for this property. Then it gets awkward and silent, and then they say stuff like, so yeah, I mean, if do you think that you could do that? And you know what I mean, I could come up on the price, and it's like, well, you just ruined it, because now you show them how weak you were, and your position is weak, and now they're gonna be like, no, and they're gonna feel like they can negotiate even stronger now. Right? So sit in that silence. Let them say no. And here's the beautiful thing about it, y'all. Here's the beautiful thing about it. Whenever you make that first offer, you're not even expecting them to say yes on that first offer. You're expecting them to say no. The first offer really should be so low that really what we're doing is we're resetting their expectations. Because maybe they had in mind that they wanted 140, and we start with a $110,000 offer. And it kind of shocks them. It's like cold water to their face, right? But now that the expectation has been reset, now we're in a position to negotiate. You never know. Maybe we land at a $5,000 or $10,000 discrepancy from our original offer, and we end up making 10, 15, 20,000, depending on how deeply we anchored. You know what I mean? So let's recap this really quick. 3 laws for presenting successful wholesale offers. Number 1 is use the appraisal rules when comping, right? Because in order to come up to a good offer, we have to make sure that our valuation is correct. Number 2 is use a formula for estimating rehabs, right? We want to operationalize our business so that we can make offers as quickly as possible. We can determine our value as quickly as possible. Number 3 is make the offer on the initial call, right? Speed, money loves speed. Speed wins deals, time kills deals. All right, and then finally, the bonus tip is after making the offer, stop talking. Shut your mouth and let the silence ride. The reason why is because silence is your best friend whenever it comes to sales and closing deals. All right? I love it. I love it. What up, everybody? We got Atlanta in the building. We got New York in the building. What's up, IG? What's good, Facebook? What's up, Twitch? What's up, LinkedIn? What's up, YouTube? All right. I love it, love it, love it. I'm going to be going live a whole lot more, y'all. So definitely feel free to hop in on these lives, ask questions, engage with me, chop it up with me. And those of you who are looking to take their business to a next level, DM me if you're looking to scale your business. I'm doing free strategy sessions, consulting small businesses to help them take their business to the next level. Who is this coaching for? This coaching is for people who already are willing to make investments in their business, okay? And they're looking to scale their business to multiple 6 figures and 7 figures, okay? If that's not you, it's okay. The strategy session is not for you, okay? But if you are at that point in business, then DM me about a strategy session. The strategy sessions are free. Normally, they're about 45 minutes. They're with me personally. I don't delegate that because I love what I do. And this is the one business that I actually work in. And so I would love to meet with you and see if we're a good fit. I'll let you know what I have to offer, what that looks like. I'll offer you some strategy. And if we're a good fit, we can talk about what the next steps are in moving forward and taking your business to multiple 6 figures and 7 figures with predictability. All right, I'm out. I have an incredibly busy day the rest of the day. I just wanted to drop some value for you guys. Until next time, it's your boy Aaron Bevins, the Millennial Entrepreneur, reporting live. Drive home safe today. Make sure to brush your teeth and don't slap nobody. Until next time, let's get it.